From Studio 16 in the heart of Santa Monica, this is Santa Monica Weekly with your hosts, Chris Baelish and Veronica Castro. On this week's show,
coming up, find out why there were so few cars dropping students off at schools this week. I'm Naima Reynosa. Coming up on Santa Monica Weekly, I'll tell you how the city is going to hack the beach.
Hi everyone, this is Santa Monica Weekly. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Baelish.
And I'm Veronica Castro. We begin with an important topic in Santa Monica, sustainable transportation.
Reporter Jackie Karsh tells us about Bike It, Walk It Week.
Did you notice that the streets of Santa Monica were a little less crowded this week? Well, that's in part to an initiative called Bike It, Walk It, Bus It, where students and their parents are encouraged to use alternative transportation to get to and from school. Dr. Yakish, your school holds the record from last year for the most participation in Bike It, Walk It, Bus It. How does that feel?
It feels great, and we're hoping to bring back that award this year, bring it on, because we're ready to compete. Well, I think it's great for the environment, number one, and it's also, it's just a great way for healthy living, and I think it also really just helps with the traffic too. But it's a great way to start the morning. We're energized, we're ready to go. I rode my bike this morning, and I saw the sunrise as I was riding into work.
Biking isn't just about being active or traffic relief, it's also about bonding with your family.
You're so right. It's very great to be with the family for 5-10 minutes in the morning. That makes something that very collective, having this experience. And it's not a lot, 5 minutes, but it makes a big difference. We're looking close by, everybody is close by the school. And again, it's really good in the morning to start the day like that.
I see you have a really cool helmet. What else makes biking fun?
Is that you pedal and you have fun, like when cars do some things, you can like wave your hands in the air, and you can talk to your neighbors, and you can like bling your little thing from the bike and say hello to your friends.
It's the best. I mean, it's fresh air, it's exercise, and we just have a great time together. We have real conversations, and we're not like listening to the radio. It's just him and I and the open road. It's phenomenal. We'd like to do it more often. I wish we did it more often, but I love that they put this week together because it really encourages us to do it. The City of Santa Monica has done so much to encourage biking, making biking safe for everyone, and we find the bike lanes from our house to here. It's a great time, and everyone should do it.
It was fun, and I like biking with my dad. Bike it, walk it, bus it! Yay!
The bike rack is full, the bell's about to ring, and it's going to be another great school day. For Santa Monica Weekly, I'm Jackie Karsh.
For additional information and resources, visit the website bikeitwalkit.org. And here in Santa Monica, there's a lot of really smart people that have great ideas about how to make our city even better.
That's why Hack the Beach held an open event recently to solicit those new ideas, and wow, what a turnout. Reporter Naima Reynosa was there.
Dozens of Santa Monica residents attended the Hack the Beach Happy Hour. It was an open invitation to enter a contest where people can use their expertise in technology to improve their community.
Tasty bites, teamwork, and technology were all part of the Hack the Beach kickoff event, where those who attended got a chance to hear how tech and government are teaming up to ignite civic change.
Really what it is an opportunity to bring developers together with the city to build something that we can all get behind. They're looking to build innovative solutions that are going to make the city a better place to live, a better place to work, and a better place to play.
All of those who live or work in Santa Monica were encouraged to enter the contest and submit proposals for apps, ideas, processes, and/or technology to help Santa Monica improve community, mobility, and civic engagement.
It's exciting to see the city actually take a stance and say, we want to invite technology into what we're doing, and so where it can make a difference.
So have your wheels been spinning? Have you been thinking of something to pitch?
We have an app that we've already been working on in the political space that addresses some of the issues that they're talking about.
It was a fun and informative event where one lucky attendee even won a lunch meeting with City Manager Rick Cole.
I'm going to go to lunch with Val Z.
I'm going on a lunch with the City Manager, so I'd love to talk a little bit more about my topic and hopefully gain some more traction.
That's amazing. You came to Hack the Beach and now you have a lunch date with the city manager.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I walked here. That even makes it even more fun. I have an app in mind and I've already pitched it already on the site, and it's I'm going to come back Friday to pitch it again. And this app is actually going to be about the homeless.
Applications to participate are being accepted until October 30th.
There will be a process to whittle the field down. Unfortunately, not everyone who submits can win. We will have multiple people moving on to the next round. And we don't have a set number. We're going to take as many good ideas as we possibly can. But ultimately, there will be one winner named January 29 at the State of the City.
And the final announcement on which proposals will be moving forward will be announced on November 3rd. For Santa Monica Weekly, I'm Naiba Reynoso.
The Hack the Beach contest finalists will be announced at an event on November 3rd in Santa Monica. For more information, please visit hackthebeach.com.
Well, as we reported here on the show, catalytic converter theft is a growing problem nationally and here in the city.
So we sent Santa Monica Weekly photojournalist Landis Stokes to an event designed to help prevent this costly crime.
So this is the Etch and Catch event. So what's going on here is we're having people come in. As you can see, they're lined up here, and we're etching on their catalytic converter, their license plate number, as well as painting it a bright orange or a bright yellow to help fight against catalytic converter theft. This is a free event that we've offered to the public. We have a sellout, so we had those spots filled up. This is our first time doing it, so so far, so good. You know, it's going well. In the LA County area, as far as I know right now, we're the only ones doing it. But really, it's any vehicle from 1975 past that, it's recommended, or actually it's mandatory that they have the catalytic converter. So any vehicle past that, you're actually susceptible to being a victim of this kind of theft.
In the process, I received a sticker to put on my windshield, and if that deters someone from stealing my catalytic converter, it's wonderful. I actually ran into someone once. Their catalytic converter had been stolen from their car, and they were very upset because they found out how much it was going to cost to have it replaced.
Well, we're here to get the catalytic converters etched this evening. We're here through the email program that's being put out by the City of Santa Monica Office of Emergency Management.
It's a wonderful program. I think it's really great that they provide this service. It would be great if other cities would offer that as well.
I think it's an incredible program and that they should expand it and keep doing it.
We probably will have another one because this has been so successful, but we don't have any dates set, so just keep an eye open for that.
If you missed the Etch and Catch event, not to worry. Many auto repair shops can also etch and paint your catalytic converter for a reasonable charge. But think about this. If a thief steals your catalytic converter, it could cost you up to $2,000 to replace it.
Ouch. That is a lot.
Expensive crime.
So let's talk about something fun and
Yes.
delicious. Fall chili roast.
Wait, you said every time you try to roast chilies, you fill the house with smoke and it's a disaster.
It
Do you
is.
cook these?
No, that's why. Listen, here at Santa Monica Weekly, to prevent the smoke in the house, we get our roasted chilies from the farmers market.
This is our annual chili roast. It happens every fall in Virginia Avenue Park at the Saturday Farmers Market on Pico and Cloverfield. The chili roast is to celebrate harvesting of chilies in California. It's modeled on the Hatch chilies from New Mexico, but we have all California-grown chilies from the farmers that participate in our farmers markets in Santa Monica. Today, we're featuring 5 different types of chili, from mild to spicy.
California has a great Mediterranean climate that grows great chili peppers, and we can do it better than New Mexico, I think. We have such a great climate. It's just kind of a seasonal, fun thing to do every year that is part of growing chilies and part of the chili culture.
I've been a volunteer here at the Pico Cloverfield Market for 21 years, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here, and this fulfills my aspirations of being part of my community. The community wants it. We had to change the date just a little bit from September to October, but everybody is happy. They're buying their chilies. It's a local community effort. Please come and visit us. We have a full service market for you. So come and meet my farmers, come and meet the produce, and come and have a bite to eat.
I love roasted chilies.
Me
And
too.
the hotter, the better. If I'm not sweating on my forehead, it's not hot enough.
My mom used to say if it doesn't make your nose run, it's not hot enough.
Exactly.
Oh, yummy. We want to tell you about some upcoming events happening around town, starting with a really fun family-friendly event. It's the Fall Festival at Virginia Avenue Park, and it's on Saturday, October 17th from 3 p.m. to 7. All ages are welcome, and if you're into Instagramming cute photos of your kids, listen to this list of great photo ops. There's going to be pumpkin carving, country dance lessons, a hay bale maze, storytelling, jugglers, and more. Parking's a bit limited, so make sure you ride your bike or take the Big Blue Bus if you can. And do us a favor, when you Instagram those cute photos of your adorable children, hashtag Santa Monica Weekly, and maybe we'll show your pictures on next week's show.
That's a great idea. Okay, while you're at the Fall Festival, there's a special booth where you can get yourself and your kids Halloween costumes basically for free. It's called the Halloween Costume Swap, and here's how this works. Just bring your gently used costume to any Santa Monica library on or before October 15th, and you'll receive a coupon. You then bring that coupon to the Fall Festival on October 17th and go to the costume swap booth. Once you show them your coupon, you'll be able to pick out a new, slightly used costume. It's kind of like costume recycling.
That's awesome. And what a great way to save money, especially if you have a big family.
Right.
And if you like to learn new things and you love food like I do, the Santa Monica Farmers Market has a series of classes that you'll want to check out. This year's free classes are called Preserving the Flavor, and each complimentary class takes place at Virginia Avenue Park's Farmers Market. On Saturday, October 24th, the free class is called Amber Waves of Grain. You can learn about heritage grain varieties now being grown in California, as well as try your hand milling grain and bread and butter making. The class runs from 10 a.m. until noon. Go to farmersmarket.smgov.net for information. Space is limited and pre-registration is required.
Well, the Santa Monica Public Library will soon be displaying artistic creations of local artists in a very clever way. The library recently held a library card design contest. Amateur artists submitted their original artwork. Entries were accepted in 3 categories: youth, teen, and adult. The winners will receive a $125 gift card, and their designs will be slipped into wallets and purses all over Santa Monica. For more information and for details, visit smpl.org, and of course, when the winners are announced, we'll show them to you right here on Santa Monica Weekly. Well, the YWCA Santa Monica West Side is taking a stand against violence with a whole week of free classes and activities. It's called the Week Without Violence, and it runs from October 19th through the 25th. It's actually part of a national campaign that focuses on practical alternatives to violence. The goal is a more peaceful and healthy community. The free events include self-defense classes, gentle yoga, qigong, and others. For more information, visit smywca.org.
That's awesome. You know, I've been to their classes before, and it's amazing what they offer for the community. So make sure you check them out. Yeah, and a little bit for everyone. And here's a great way to spend a Saturday afternoon eating shrimp and oysters.
Sounds good.
The Santa Monica Seafood Festival happens Saturday, October 17th. The festival starts at 3 in the afternoon and goes until 7 p.m. The event is called Off the Hook. Do you get it, Chris?
Oh, I get it, yeah. Very clever.
It will showcase the city's best restaurants and chefs with dishes featuring ingredients such as oysters, shrimp, sushi, clams, fish, mussels, and more. Tickets cost between $60 and $100, and it sounds delicious. Sign me up.
Let's go. We're totally going to that. All right, it's time for a quick break. When we come back, we have Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District Superintendent Sandra Lyon in studio for a special interview with distinguished professor Dr. Nogueira on education equality.
And don't forget, a great way to stay informed about what's happening in our city is to follow us on Twitter, hashtag Santa Monica Weekly. We'll be right back.
How far does $1 go today? Not far, huh? Think again. Los Angeles Regional Food Bank creates 4 healthy meals with $1. We mobilize resources to feed people in need. 1.7 million people face hunger in Los Angeles County. Help us reach our vision that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County.
Hello, my name's Sandra Lyon, and I'm the superintendent of the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District. I'm very pleased today to be here with Dr. Pedro Nogueira from UCLA, who's going to be partnering with the school district to work on increasing equity and access for every student in our school district. So thank you for being with us, Dr. Nogueira.
Great to be with you, Sandy.
So I know you've spent a lot of your career at Columbia. You're here now as the Distinguished Professor of Education at UCLA. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background and your work in publishing and working with districts across the country?
Sure. Actually, I was just at NYU before coming here.
NYU, I'm sorry, I said
then,
Columbia.
Before that, I was a professor at Harvard and then Berkeley before that. So I did live in California for 20 years. In fact, I did work in Berkeley, where I served on the school board. We wrote a book about Berkeley High School and its own efforts to address the achievement gap. And I would say that's the issues you find in Berkeley are very similar to Santa Monica's issues. So I've been working on these issues probably for about 25 years, so I'm very familiar with the challenges facing Santa Monica. And I frame them as challenges of figuring out how to educate all children. In a district like this that has so many resources and such a supportive community, it should be possible to educate all the kids, not just the most privileged kids. And that's what we want to work with the district around, is how to make sure that every child gets their needs met.
In Santa Monica, Malibu, the issue of equity has been surfaced for a number of years. Over the last 20 years, there have probably been 4 different efforts to really delve into the issue. And unfortunately, we haven't seen us really change the data as we'd like to and seen better outcomes for all of our students. What are some of the barriers that tend to be in place that prevent school districts from really getting in and doing that work?
Well, I think the biggest barrier, as I've come to understand Santa Monica, is follow-through. You really have to stick with a plan long enough to see it bear fruit. And my sense is that because of changes in leadership, because of disagreements about the focus and the priorities, that follow-through hasn't been there. And therefore you haven't seen the strategies that have been implemented, even some of which showed some promise, really carried through to fruition. So hopefully that's something we can address. Fortunately, you've been in a leadership role here for several years now, and I think that bodes well for the district. But aside from follow-through, there also has to be a willingness to move beyond the politics. The politics really get in the way of doing the educational work. And the politics often are a perception in the community that the more you do for one group of kids, it's going to come at the expense of other kids. And that kind of zero-sum notion that my kids will be hurt by a focus on equity prevents us from doing what should be easy in a place like Santa Monica. And so we have to make sure that the community understands that this is really in the interest of all children, not just certain kids.
So maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you define educational equity and what that really means in a public school system.
Sure, I think that's important because equity is not the same as equality. Equality is about treating everyone the same. Equity starts from the premise that we're not all the same. We come with differences in our backgrounds, in the support that we have at home, differences in the education level of our parents, differences in our personality, our temperament, and in our preparation. And so from that standpoint, what we have to do is to address those differences to make sure that every child gets what they need. Now, if you think about it, most parents get equity right away when it comes to their own children. Mm-hmm. We understand if you have more than one child, they're not all the same. Even twins are not all the same. They have different personality and temperament. But we have schools that don't work very well at addressing the differences that children bring. And that's what we've got to do. We have to create schools that are more responsive to the needs of kids, rather than expecting the kids to adjust to the demands of school.
So our mission statement is extraordinary achievement for all while simultaneously closing the achievement gap. I think as someone who was a longtime classroom teacher and a principal, we all feel like we're sort of dancing as fast as we can, and we struggle to figure out how can we really meet the needs of each of our children. Are there systems and is it attitudes? What are the things that we're going to really be looking at as a school district that we can make some shifts that will help all of our employees who come to work and work hard every day really be able to make those shifts for students so that we have better outcomes?
Well, I've already been impressed by the openness that I've seen amongst the staff, by their willingness to work with me and address these issues, and the lack of defensiveness. So I think that's a great starting point. We're going to be spending the next several weeks and over months looking at schools, going into classrooms to try to understand what the classroom climate is like, what the teaching and learning environment is like, which kids are being engaged, which kids are not. Understand how do we intervene when we see a child's not making progress. We should never see a child entering high school who's not reading at grade level, because we should be able to intervene much earlier to address that child's needs. So we need to understand why the system isn't working as it should. we should be able to educate every child. It doesn't mean that every child is going to go to Ivy League school.
Right.
But we should be able to find ways to meet their needs. And the goal should be to help each child and their families to help enable that child to fulfill their potential. So again, this is about really pursuing excellence for every child and recognizing that excellence is not going to look the same for every child.
Right. When you've looked at some of the districts that you've worked with in other places, what are some of the characteristics that you see in common around their approach to this work that has made them successful?
Well, I cite, we just did a book called Excellence Through Equity, so I'd encourage those in the audience who want to learn more about my work to look at that most recent book. And we identify schools and districts around the country that are making progress in addressing these issues. One of those districts is Abington, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. And they're a district that has genuinely made progress, and you can see the progress in grades and test scores, in the number of kids going to college, and in the indicators that kids of color, low-income kids are now in advanced placement, in honors courses, and affluent white kids are not being held back. Right? And Abington is proof that you can, in fact, move a district when there's consistent leadership, when people work together on a plan of action, when there's a willingness to ask tough questions and to address them. And so the example of Abington, I think, should be an inspiration to Santa Monica, that they can be as good as Abington, right? I know there's a lot of pride in Santa Monica for this community and for its schools. Well, you should know that you can do better than you are right now for all children.
So I know that in looking at the timeline, getting our team into the schools to do the review is probably going to be pushed back. Do you think after the first of the year we'll have some sort of a report, maybe February, March?
I'm hoping February, March. We're getting a late start, mostly because it's been complicated with the schedules of the schools. But I will be in schools soon. We want to do this well. We don't want to drag it out either.
Right.
But we want to make sure that we spend enough time in each school to have a good sense of what's going on before we make recommendations on what to do next.
Great. Well, we appreciate your time today. We know that you'll be out in the community, and we will have this on our website at smmusd.org so that people who are interested in this process that we're going through to improve the outcomes for every student our district serves will be able to understand why we're doing this work to make sure that the students who need us most get what they need, and we continue to provide an extraordinary education for all. So thank you.
Welcome back to Santa Monica Weekly. Did you know that October is National Community Planning Month across the nation?
And joining us now is David Martin, the head of Santa Monica's Planning and Community Development Department. Welcome to Studio 16.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. So what does the Planning and Community Development Department do exactly?
Well, PCD plays many roles in the community, from creation of new streets, bike lanes, and preparing for Expo Light Rail Line that's coming spring of next year. In addition to that, we process thousands of business licenses, building permits every year. We have 6 divisions within the department, and they tackle some of the city's most challenging issues and work hard to conserve and enhance the character of the neighborhoods, expand mobility options, and ensure the safety of the built environment.
That sounds like a huge amount of responsibility.
It's a very busy department. We have a lot going on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of your department, I think there's a little bit of a misconception when it comes to the planning department. Most people think it's all about development, but there's a lot of really cool new streets and open spaces that your department is responsible for, like the Colorado Esplanade that's currently under construction. Tell us a little bit about the project.
Yeah, it's a really exciting project. It's a kind of an artful solution to an extraordinarily complex mobility issue that we have in the city. It's a particular place where everything comes together. You know, the downtown, the Civic Center, Tongva Park, Santa Monica Place, all of those things are right there adjacent to the Esplanade. And in addition, as I mentioned, the Expo line opens in 2016, so that will add really thousands of pedestrians to that street. So what we needed to do was to find a solution to connect these places together and kind of find a seam that would connect the various parts of the city. And so the Esplanade does that. It includes a 30-foot wide sidewalk to accommodate the people that will be walking from the Expo to the pier and other destinations. It includes a 2-way cycle track for bicyclists. It also moves vehicles in a 1-way direction and westbound. And then it includes Mexican sycamore trees, custom paving stones that kind of emulate the movement of the water. And then you'll ultimately see string lights overhead that will provide a great nighttime ambiance.
That is beautiful.
I
What a
can't wait
great
till it's
vision.
done. That's going to be amazing. And so a lot of responsibility your department has. What are some of the misconceptions people have about planning and urban planning?
Well, a lot of people are confused about the role planning plays in development. I think they either think that the city is busy developing buildings on their own or that developers are controlling the process. And neither of that is true. The role of the planning department and the staff we have is to ensure that private property owners conform to the standards that have been established by our community and by our council. So we help property owners and those developing land address requirements that are designed by the city and safeguard our neighborhoods. And sometimes the process is very long because things can be quite complex, particularly with larger projects. Those are ones that arouse a lot of concern from the community. But ultimately, we are customer service oriented and have the city and the community's best interest in mind.
Sure. Yeah.
Tell us about the National Community Planning Month.
Yeah, October is National Planning Month. It's something that happens every year. It gives us a chance to kind of reflect upon the profession, celebrate the role that we play in shaping our city. This year's theme is Healthy Communities, and we have a lot to celebrate here in Santa Monica. Over the course of this month, we are raising our profile a bit by holding contests and events, setting up displays in City Hall that describe the role of planning in our community. We're honoring past planning commissioners for their dozens and dozens of hours that they volunteer each month, and letting planning staff know that their hard work is appreciated.
Oh, very cool. Very busy. And there's a photo contest, right?
Yes,
Tell me about
that's
that.
right.
I love taking pictures. A lot of people want to get into this.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. We thought it would be fun to encourage our residents to get out and about and experience the city. So we set up this photo contest where folks can snap pictures of themselves in several spots around town, then upload the pictures to social media. We're calling this SM Plan Perfect. And you can download the contest on our website. We are giving away some cool prizes, like a year's membership to the new Breeze bike share program that's launching next month, and some other fun stuff.
That's great. Now let's talk big picture. How important is community planning? Like, what happens if we don't plan?
Yeah, well, it's very important. It plays a vital role in ensuring health and safety in Santa Monica. Collectively, our 6 divisions oversee the creation of the city's long-range evolutionary goals. We address transportation issues like congestion and bicycle planning. We evaluate development applications that ensure they meet our rigorous standards. We respond to code complaints and manage key functions within the public right-of-way. So it's very important.
And just summarize for us quickly, what are some of the key takeaways that our viewers should know about Planning Month?
Well, I think a key takeaway is to consider places within Santa Monica that viewers really love, and to ask themselves if that just happens by accident or not. And chances are, one or likely a group of people really got together and thought about that place and planned how to implement it. And that can include a park, a great walking street, or even a bike path. And that's what the process does. That's what it results in. Right. Planners are people who know the best measure of success is how the community enjoys the end result.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how far out should we be planning? 10, 20, 100 years?
Well, yeah, it's
I'm lucky to go next week. Okay, so.
Yeah, it's a very dynamic process. We respond to immediate changes. We look at projections for the future. That's one reason why we have a current planning staff and more of a strategic advanced planning staff, because we are constantly assessing our present condition while making plans for sometimes 20, 30 years out.
Fantastic. Yeah. David Martin, thank you so much for coming
in
today.
Well, thank you
really
guys.
Appreciate you sharing that. Very busy department.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll let you get back to
it. Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again. Can't wait to see everything that you all are working on. Right. And that's our show for this week. Please join us again next week. And remember to set your DVR to record us, or you can also watch us on our YouTube channel. And make sure to leave some comments.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram for updates and information about all the fun things happening around town. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Santa Monica Weekly.